the Oburu wing is going for power, but it has had to lose political weight first. I don't understand that logic, where you first of all lose weight, political weight. I mean, I know weight has been discussed a lot lately, but we are talking about the weight of ODM. Is ODM that Raila Odinga left last October the same one today that is talking about power with William Ruto? It's not. And in fact, it lacks, it's actually so vulnerable.
Hello.
Things are going to play out in very many different directions. And we've seen Dennis Onyango. Dennis Onyango is a long-time associate of the former Prime Minister, and he worked with him for a very, very long time. And his understanding of the man's modus operandi is very, very reliable. And what he says there, and I agree with him, is Raila left you to interpret what he actually means. I don't think there was a time he would sit down and say, this is what I mean and this is how we are going to do it and all that. He was a strategist on the go. And what we're also witnessing here is, talking of the exit strategy, you've seen Dennis talking about, not Dennis, but Paul Mwangi, another close associate of the former Prime Minister, talking about Raila having many exit strategies. But what we are witnessing at ODM is the people he left behind, some of them didn't have a strategy around his exit. And the Sifuna side, it has to be said, lost this battle on the day they went to collect the body in India. That is the day the battle was lost. Because the Oburu side stayed home, and on the morning of the arrival of the body of Raila Odinga from India, we had those two big news items going on at the same time. One, the body of the late former Prime Minister is at the JKIA, and two, we have an interim leader called Dr. Oburu Oginga, which at the time, at a human level, felt inappropriate. Like, why are you doing this now? Don't you receive the body first and then do transition later? But this is real politic. This is real politic. It's hard. It's hardball politics. It doesn't think logically, and the human sentiments sometimes are not what rules the day. It is interests and what needs to be achieved. And I think that team achieved what they wanted to achieve on that particular morning. There was no vacuum in ODM. There is a new leader, and that leader is Dr. Oburu Oginga. This is an indictment of the Sifuna Orengo side. He didn't prepare properly for a day like this. What if, and it happened, Raila exited the stage suddenly? What is your plan? You're younger, what is your plan? They have been on the back foot since. And this is coming now to a close. It is ending. Because when two factions fight, there's only one prize, and that is the top leadership of the party. And unfortunately, Sifuna and his side did not focus on actually going for that position that was left vacant by the death of Raila Odinga. They still left it at a discussion of how ODM should conduct itself, especially with regard to the relationship with President Ruto's party, UDA. And others were moving to, first of all, control the instruments, control the leadership, have the leader there. And we have now Oburu Odinga, who now has the unfortunate place of being judged in terms of comparison with Raila Odinga. And quite frankly, there is absolutely no comparison. Let's talk about power that he keeps talking about. Raila Odinga played power politics without ever mentioning the word. Not once did he say he wants power or he's going for it, but he was extremely powerful. So powerful that there was a time cabinet secretaries would visit Capitol Hill
for briefing.
The office of the former prime minister, and in that of you know, it's a show of influence. He was influential. The people Raila Odinga dealt with, whether it was Uhuru Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi, Mwai Kibaki, and lastly William Ruto, all those 4 presidents, they always had to find out what is he up to, who is he meeting, and all that, because power exercised itself that way. One thing that Raila Odinga was very good at was the power of leverage. He knew how to put something on the side that can then bring you to order as the partner in power. And in this case, it just comes as a confirmation from both Paul Mwangi and Dennis Onyango that the Orengo-Sifuna axis was the leverage in these negotiations with William Ruto. That, you know, I'm leading a party that sections of it are restless. They're not very comfortable with this. So do this or you don't, there is this. Let's come to Oburu Odinga. What is Oburu Odinga's exit strategy right now? He wants power. He is going into a negotiation. Is it even a negotiation? This is it's already a come we stay marriage. It is actually ongoing. There are witnesses and all that in law that's actually recognized. But what if things happen? And things can happen. President Ruto was in Nyeri today. What if Gachagua tomorrow said, you know what, I'm back. What will...
Like I never left.
What? Yeah, I know, like I never left. And you know, they hug and things like that. What would ODM do in such a scenario? And these are the things that Raila was very good at. He was wide-eyed. You have to look at the whole landscape. Oburu has not built leverage, unfortunately. Leverage means you even have the capacity to reach out to other leaders. And, you know, you have that as your option. There is Kalonzo Musyoka who stood with Raila Odinga all these, how many elections? 3 elections? As running mate, and the Ukambani vote always came as a block to Oginga. ODM doesn't even have Ukambani as leverage in these talks with Oginga. Same to the Kisii region. It has gone to Matiang'i and Jubilee.
Yeah.
Now, ODM, the Oburu wing, is going for power, but it has had to lose political weight first. I don't understand that logic, where you first of all lose weight, political weight. I mean, I know weight has been discussed a lot lately, but we are talking about the weight of ODM. Is ODM that Raila Odinga left last October the same one today that is talking about power with William Ruto? It's not. And in fact, it's actually so vulnerable that if anything, if William Ruto got his 2022-2013 matrix back, he will not need Oburu Oginga. Not once. That is why Oburu and his team should have done more to sort of keep ODM strong, so that you go and talk about power. You need to talk about power when you are strong, and the person you are discussing power with actually recognizes that you are also powerful. Power is not a destination. It's built. You can possess it as well, and the other person comes through. The reason William Ruto went to Raila Odinga post the Gen Z protests was because power was slipping away, and there was some power that Raila Odinga enjoyed that he can donate to get. If put that together, then there'll be stability, and that's exactly what has happened. So Oburu Oginga will be going forward, facing a lot of questions, and that wing of ODM should pray and hope that nothing greater than broad-based happens. Because if anything similar or bigger than broad-based happens, say this Mount Kenya East thing that is, you know, Ruto is a schemer and a very smart one. There are so many cards he's putting on the table. He keeps broad-based busy, especially in Homa Bay, you know, very, very happy and all that. But Kindiki Kithure, Professor Kindiki, the deputy president, comes from Mount Kenya East, where they just won by election in Bere, which also boosts their, even if psychologically, just tells you, oh, it's possible to have a fighting chance even against the DCP wave of Rigathi Gachagua. So all these things are at play. You see Ruto playing the Mount Kenya card as energetically as he's playing the Nyanza card. Where is ODM's other cards? Shrinking, losing weight, and actually, without realizing it, they are growing weaker and weaker. And if anything changes, what if again Ishaweri happens? Because it can happen.
Anything is possible.
It can happen. President William Ruto and his only other colleague in that job group, Uhuru Kenyatta, can meet and say, you know what, I'm not perfect, but another 5 years I'll try. And he says yes. What happens to ODM? Yeah, it will be, they may need to borrow a leaf from Musalia Mudavadi. You know, he didn't waste time with ANC. I think he wound it up at some point. And that's what happens. If you're not able to stand on your own, you're relying so heavily on power, then winding up is a possibility. Yeah.
Interesting perspective.
Usinibo kustedi ukiwa proxy kila pedi kwa nadoka we ni ngombe uskena goat bilioni kwanza na bob zile pipe tumedot kila mchoro wanza na dot naongeza skari mingi waulize tuskate limit ili video nyeshe tiris niapatiwe degree simanishi chebi kisema lishi kamili ile pressure kubwa nkona
Selector Deno